What's good, guys? I'm back with another video. Excuse me if I speak like slowly or with not much energy. I've just like come over a little bit like, whoa, tired and a little bit lightheaded. Hence why I'm on my bed in the middle of the day. But I thought whilst I'm here, I still want to get something done. So why not do the breakdown of the nature of the beast. This project feels like it was released like so long ago now, so me explaining certain things, bear with me. Things might have to come back to me because I don't even think I've listened to that project for like a little while, so I'm gonna have to get it up. I haven't planned how I'm gonna do this, by the way, so we're just gonna see how it goes. The nature of the beast. I guess I could start with the name, the title, the nature of the beast. It's an idiom that was introduced to me by an old friend of mine, and it really intrigued me because from what I can remember of the meaning, I'll probably get it up just so it's like quote unquote accurate. The nature of the beast is like, that's how something goes based on what's expected of the situation. In a nutshell, that's what the nature of the beast is. So to like use the actual example of nature of the beast, say for example, if you know you raise a lion from a cub, so you know you think that the lion and you are like super cool homies, and then one day the lion eats you. It's like, that's the nature of the beast. You know, you might have thought that the situation was going to go different, but it's in the lion's nature to eat its prey, and it's a predator. So you can't really expect anything different. That was what was expected of it. And I felt like a lot of the situations that I'd been through or like wanted to talk about and did end up talking about in that project sort of had that kind of a vibe or a feel to it, or yeah, they were all like stories or lessons learned where I was just like, well, that was the nature of that person or the situation, or oh, it was bound to go that way based on this. Or I wrote majority of those songs in 2017 and 2018, early 2018, but the project was pretty much finished by end of 2017. Yeah, it was. And a lot of the songs on there were like the first time I'd ever met the producer, just whatever the vibe of that session is, like when we first met each other, or session was, sorry, ended up being like the final track, and I was just like, yeah, love that, leave it, let's just drop that. Yeah, so I'll guess I'll just do it like song by song, if that works. The first song on there is Sometimes. Now, Sometimes, I did this with a guy called Barney Lister, and this was the first session, the first song that we created in the first session that we ever had. It was the first time I ever met him, and I went to his house because it was his home studio. We got introduced by a guy that I was sort of working with at the time. He recommended him to me, or like, I guess, put us together. It was just like, yeah, you guys should work. So I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, I was like testing out writing with like new people as a way to broaden my writing capabilities, and yeah, also to, I guess, not necessarily build my confidence, but get more comfortable writing in the same room as other people that I don't know, and sort of overcoming that, you know, desire I had of just wanting to create completely in solitude, because I was aware that like you can learn stuff from so many different people, and sometimes the vibe of the studio can help you create something that you perhaps wouldn't create like if you're just in your room. Just stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit. Anyway, met him, he literally played the beat. I think it was the first beat he played to me, and instantly the ideas just came to me. So literally whipped up the song in like 3 hours, written melodies, whatever. And yeah, that song is basically about feeling like no matter how much you try to explain yourself to somebody, they're just not listening, and they don't have the capacity to be able to understand what you're saying. so feeling like you just don't even want to speak anymore, you know, like that kind of thing. You've ever felt like you're just speaking to a brick wall? You're just like, yeah, you're trying to explain yourself and the person just can't hear you for whatever reason, because they got their own shit going on, or they're just not trying to listen to you. That song was about that. That's something I was going through at the time, and also I've just experienced a lot. I think we all experience stuff like that, you know, like you're just trying to get your point across to someone and they're just not having it. And yeah, I think like I used to, and still do in some ways, but nowhere near as much. It's something I'm working on. I used to have this sort of desire of like wanting to be understood, like when I articulate myself, and I would get really frustrated if I felt like I couldn't articulate myself properly, or if like just no matter what I would do, the person's still not understanding me. I like things to be harmonious. I don't like confrontation, so I like everybody to try and be on the same page and everybody to understand each other. So it's kind of frustrating when like that isn't happening. And yeah, that's that song in a nutshell. Second song, Don't Waste My Time. Don't Waste My Time. I think in terms of statistics, Don't Waste My Time is actually probably my best performing song in terms of like streams and plays and shit, which is pretty cool. Don't Waste My Time's opened up a lot of doors for me, and also connected me with like a lot of people, just different artists and stuff, which is really cool. A lot of people seem to connect with that song. This is another song that I wrote in like my first time meeting a producer. I wrote this with a guy called Marco at his house. First time meeting him, mad cool guy, and yeah, he played a couple of beats, but this one instantly stood out to me, and it was mad because he was like, oh, we've had this for a while. It's co-produced by another guy called Low File. Yeah, they produced it together, and he's just like, yeah, we've had this for a while, but no one like really wanted to use it. And I was like, what? This is fire. So I had ideas straight away. I actually ended up writing this song in like an hour and a half tops, because I think it was something like his girlfriend was ill and was coming home from work early, so they were gonna have to wrap up the session quick. But I was like first verse and chorus in, and now I know what I'm like if I leave a song before it's finished, I probably won't finish it. So I was like, oh no, I need to finish this. So I had to quickly rush. I rushed it basically, and it ended up being like fire, so I left it as it was. This song, pretty self-explanatory. It's just, again, about realizing how much I valued my time and my space, and kind of not taking any shit anymore, and being like, yo, if you can't get with it, then I don't want you around me. Like, I haven't got time to waste. My time's valuable to me, my time's precious, and I'm not about to have anybody around me wasting it. So yeah, I feel like we've all had our time wasted at some point, or wasted other people's time. I've also done that. So this song was, yeah, basically about that. I was just sick and tired of having my time wasted, man. I was just like, not anymore. That's that. Next song, Hit Me Up. This was with Marco again, probably the second time we ever met, second or third time. Again, pretty self-explanatory. I don't know if you've ever had a situation where you like are on and off with somebody, like you break up, get back together, break up, get back together. And you know, in the time when you're sort of not together and you're like trying to move on, and then like you're doing your thing and then they like kind of hit you up, or vice versa, and you're like, no, I'm trying to move on, like don't. But then you're like, do you kind of miss them? And then they're on their way to meet you, and then you're like, fuck, okay, looks like I'm gonna get back in this situation then. So then you do. Sometimes things aren't ready to like finish, you know? Gotta go back a couple times and then realize that actually it is supposed to be finished. Feel me? Next song, Cherry. Oh, I love this song. Right, this song written with Barney Lister, so the same guy that produced Sometimes. This was probably on my third time meeting him. Similar sort of feel, to hit me up. However, it's kind of like what happens next. So, you know, you're on and off, you miss them, and then when you get back, the sex is fire kind of thing. It's like that. It's basically cherries about sex, to just be honest. And it's kind of like when you've got that person you go back to because of that, even though that's like actually super unhealthy and not worth it in the long run. It's a very real thing that a lot of us do, you know. Sometimes the sex is fire and it keeps you around. Originally there was another version of this song, and like I really loved it, right? And then when it came to getting the project mixed and mastered, there was a problem with the files, so we were almost not going to be able to use it. So literally had to recreate the whole thing from scratch, and I had to go and re-record the whole thing. I was gutted because I get demoitis and I fall in love with the demos, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to recreate that same vibe that it originally had, but ended up doing it. And I had to just sort of abandon listening to the original version because the production sounded slightly different on this to the original, which at first kind of threw me off, but then I started to like it. And I went back and listened to the old version a couple weeks ago, and I thought I was going to be devastated, but actually now I prefer the new version. So yeah, there's that. Next song. Pretty Certain, another favourite of mine. It's produced by a guy called Denzel himself, and yeah, super fire song. Like basically this song, again, self-explanatory, it's just kind of like crushing on one of your like homies. I don't know if you've ever had like a situation where you're friends with someone, but there's that like underlying flirty kind of vibe there, and you're kind of like, you don't cross the line, but like if you were to cross the line, what would happen? Like it's that sort of intrigue of we could cross the line, like, you know, you feel me? You know, when you had certain friends that were like that, and it's like, you're my friend, but it's also kind of cute. It's not completely platonic. Yeah, Pretty Certain, that's about that. It's like kind of cheeky, like you've peeped that one of your homies thinks you're cute, and you kind of think they're cute as well. So like, what are you saying? Are you trying to do something about that? Boy, that's that. Next song, Adore. This one's produced by Marco as well. Shout outs to Marco. How many songs have you got on there? 3 songs. Yeah. This song was quite an interesting one to write, and it was really weird afterwards how I felt about it as well. This song is more or less about acknowledging every single thing that you have to offer. So like just all the amazing qualities about yourself and saying them out loud, and understanding and being aware of why someone finds you attractive. It's like knowing your worth. Like it's like, oh, I know all these great things. I think a lot of stuff like that we're quite modest about, or we just don't believe it, or we don't see it yet. So kind of having a song that embodied and empowered that was something I wanted to do, because it's like, you know, not every day modest. Like some days acknowledge, yeah, actually you like me because I'm a great fucking person, I'm awesome, like what the heck, yeah, you've never met anyone like me before. Whatever it is that you feel and you relate to, like saying it out loud about yourself, that's what this song was. It's really funny because afterwards I listened to it the next day and I felt cringed by it, and I think it was because I wasn't used to saying all the like positive things that I thought about myself out loud. I felt kind of like, I don't know, it just felt phony. Like I just felt like, I don't know what it was. It's just, I just thought, and I guess a lot of the things that I wanted to feel about myself, I probably didn't fully feel yet. So a little part of me felt like a bit of an imposter. It's really weird. But the more I listened to that song, it actually helped me to overcome a lot of those feelings, and I guess it brought to light that there were some things I needed to work on, because I wanted to be able to acknowledge all the great things about me, and I didn't fully see all of them yet. Feel me? So yeah, there was that. Come through. This song was so fun to create. This is one of the only songs I've like written like with other people, because most stuff I write myself, like completely myself. But this was awesome. Like, I wrote it with my best friend, who's also an artist, and my other friend. So my best friend, Cairo. Yeah, wrote with him and a guy called Dan, Dandelion, dope producer and artist as well. And literally stayed at my boy Dan's house with my best friend. And we were just like having fun, having a couple drinks, and wrote it. I just like mumble melodies, like coming up with the melodies. Kind of like what you guys see me doing here. But I do it to myself. Me doing that and like sharing it is not something I would normally do. I'm very like in my own bubble when I'm making stuff. And I'll just be making stuff and then literally come up with a melody. I would write something, would be like, okay, let me record this, guys. What do you think? And then the first time they would hear it would be like when I record it. And then my best friend would like came up with, I think, the pre-hook melody, and then like we both collaboratively worked on the melody for the chorus, but it just flowed so nice. And I think what was nice about it as well, because it was my best friend and he's a sick writer and he knows me, it just made sense. And then when it came to like the backing vocals and harmonies and stuff, Dan and Cairo were sick at that. Like I just left them to it, and I just was like, yep, you do what you're doing and I'll just come in and harmonize with it. That was sick. But Come Through, get any clearer, I can see it in a way, yeah, I think Come Through is just about kind of liking someone. It's not really that deep, just liking someone, thinking they're cool, and just being like, yo, let's kick it. I like you, you like me, like, yeah, let's do this. There's really not much to that song. Like the kind of fancy free, light-hearted, easy, nice, wavy stage of when you're like first getting to know somebody, that nothing can kind of go wrong. That's what Come Through is about. Keep Up With Me. Keep Up With Me. Keep Up With Me is another one, like Don't Waste My Time, that like introduced, I think, a lot of people to me as an artist. And it was great because like that song is quite an introductory song in terms of like lyrically as well. It's kind of me in a nutshell. It's like quite tongue-in-cheek. It's just like, yeah, this is what I'm about, like keep up with me or don't, like kind of thing, you know. It's just like, I am who I am, like it or lump it, either way, like I'm keeping things moving, so you're gonna have to jog if you want to keep up with me. So yeah, this was fun to write. I got sent this beat by one of my homies called Jake, and he sent the beat to me probably about a year before that, and I just didn't ever check the emails really. And then I'm like that, Alice, I got to be in the mood to create, and then literally about a year later I opened it up, I was like, oh my days, this is fire. So yeah, I wrote to it. I started writing to it in my room, and I've still got the original voice note of when I came up with the melody. Either way, that song sort of wrote itself. Super fun to write. I love Keep Up With Me. And then the video as well. I just wanted that. I knew from when I recorded that song in August 2017. I knew that that was gonna be the song that I dropped first. That's like, yo, I'm here, what are you saying? Even though obviously if you've been following me for a long time, you know that I was making music and dropping music on SoundCloud for like quite a few years before that. But dropping music everywhere that's accessible to like everyone, I knew Keep Up With Me was like, yo, what we saying, guys, I'm here. And I feel like it did that. Like it really, really did that. It opened up a lot of doors for me, which is dope. Her. You need honesty, honestly. I love this song. She love this song. I forget about this song. This song is about a relationship that you know needs to come to an end, and communicating it to that person, even though it's like quite an awkward combo to have, and it's like a painful one, and you got to say things that aren't nice to hear. It's just expressing how I felt, and I felt that we wasn't on the same page as a person, and we needed to go our separate ways. So I thought the kind of reference of like different highway, we're going down different ways, we're not on the same route. I've got to take this turn in now and you're still going over there. It's not gonna work. Like having like visual kind of, you know, like analogies for stuff. One, because I think they're cool, and two, when you've got visual representations for something, it sort of makes it a bit easier to understand. And yeah, last but not least, Ocean View. Ocean View is one of my favorite songs of mine. Love this song. Wrote it with a guy called Tom. I travelled up to a place called Leeds in London, recorded it at his house. First time going to Leeds. Yeah, this song, pretty much in a nutshell, being introverted and spending so much time on my own, and being somebody who like is really choosy about who they chill with in general, and like who I'm super choosy about who I invite in my space. I don't really like have friends over, like ever. I've not really ever been that kind of person. Every now and then, like when I was younger, but especially like as I've gotten older. So I'm gonna say for the past 10 years, so yeah, like 17 upwards, I don't really have friends over like that. If I have, it's like a big deal for me. It's like, okay, I trust you and I like you enough to invite you into my space, because my space, I've created it to be my sanctuary. Do you know what I mean? Like this is me, this is my space. So if you're gonna come in it, I need to know that you're gonna respect it, and also I need to know that I'm not gonna find this experience too draining. So yeah, this song's about that, like thinking someone's cool, even just as on a friendship base, like inviting a friend to my room for the first time and showing them around, like explaining to them how cool it is here. Look, like this place is literally where I spend all my time. It's a big reflection of who I am. Like, please respect it, but know that I've invited you here because I think you're mad fucking cool. I'm glad we're friends, kind of vibe. So yeah, that's that, and that's it, guys. That's Nature of the Beast. My first baby. I appreciate everyone that's listened to it, streamed it, still does, bought it. If you've bought it, that's fucking dope. I appreciate anybody who's reached out to me to let me know if or what that project has done for them, because like I said, like I make music for me. Like I'm quite a selfish artist, I'm not gonna lie. Like literally I make stuff for myself, but anything else is always a bonus. Like I'm always mad grateful, because it's not even the intention, like, you know, it's mad. So I appreciate you guys a lot. Yeah, okay, well stay tuned, because I'm gonna do another one of Gorgeous. Make sure that you like, comment and subscribe. Apologies for not having loads of energy. I'm like got a bit of a headache, but I really wanted to make sure I got this video done for you guys. So yeah, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.